The story begins with Blanca, a girl who never goes out without makeup because she has suffered bullying since high school, where she was always called fat and ugly. That's when we meet Gigi, an influencer with millions of followers who is actually cruel and only cares about fame. Gigi mistreats Blanca, who secretly wants to become a beauty queen like her. Then, Blanca meets Paul, the sexiest actor in the country, who has won millions of awards. We discover that they know each other from school, as he was her first love. Blanca still hasn't forgotten him. At one point, she gets into a fight to defend Paul from insults. In the middle of the confusion, a mirror appears. When she looks into it, Blanca remembers the bullying she suffered and faints. Despite being mean, Gigi forces Blanca to participate in a live makeup show. During the program, Gigi paints her in a monstrous way, like a clown. The incredible thing is that 50,000 people watch the show, but Blanca starts receiving hateful messages saying she is horrible and disgusting. These messages leave her deeply saddened. Suddenly, Paul appears, worried about Blanca, and gives her a hug, surprising everyone. Then, he confronts Gigi, applies lipstick to her mouth with dark intentions, and makes her understand that it's not funny to mistreat people. Later, they have a meeting with Paul's manager, who reveals that his reputation hasn't been great lately. The manager suggests that Paul collaborate with Gigi, faking a relationship for a few months so that the public believes they are dating, thus improving his image. However, Paul makes it clear that he doesn't like influencers. Blanca intervenes, saying he shouldn't be so arrogant. During the discussion, she yells things that leave Paul in shock. When he thinks about leaving, Gigi interrupts him and reveals that Blanca has actually been his fan for years. Thus, they do their first live show together, talking about makeup. During the program, Paul struggles because he has no idea how to use the tools Gigi teaches him. He ends up doing a terrible makeup job. Blanca then decides to do the makeup herself. Meanwhile, Paul forgets about the live show and gazes deeply into Blanca's eyes, remembering when he also did her makeup in the past. Blanca was deeply in love with Paul at that time. She had written a love letter to confess her feelings, but Gigi found out beforehand and publicly declared her love for Paul, forcing Blanca to tear up the letter. Now, it seems feelings between Blanca and Paul are beginning to reignite. When the live show's audience grows, many start believing that Paul is in a relationship with Gigi. Meanwhile, some girls are excited, but other influencers are upset that he's collaborating with Gigi. Paul then shows up at Blanca's beauty salon and hires her as his personal hairstylist for his films. He can't stop looking at her, and Blanca asks him to stop because it makes her nervous. However, Paul insists, and Blanca ends up throwing water in his face. The two start arguing, but the atmosphere between them feels like two kids in love. In fact, they have dinner together, and he tells her that he has been very stressed lately because of fame. She mentions that she wishes to be famous, to which he promises to help her as much as he can. However, Gigi reveals that Paul posted a photo with Blanca on Instagram, something unusual since he rarely uploads pictures with any woman. This seems strange to Blanca. Additionally, Gigi confesses that Paul sends her goodnight messages, which makes her incredibly jealous. To win his affection, Gigi prepares a special snack for him, but in reality, it was Blanca who made it. Still, Gigi hands the snack to Paul and takes all the credit. Paul, however, doesn't trust Gigi. He posts a photo of the snack on Instagram and enjoys the food as if he were thanking and kissing Blanca herself. When videos of Gigi and Paul begin circulating online, everyone starts seeing them as the perfect couple. On social media, people comment that they make a special pair. While Gigi gets all the glory and love, Blanca has to endure hateful comments and the frustration of hearing people talk about Paul and Gigi's relationship. To the public, they are now the most beautiful and viral couple in the country. Gigi's assistant asks if she doesn't feel bad about deceiving everyone, but Gigi says she would do anything for fame and even more to win Paul's love. Meanwhile, Blanca lands a role in a Thai series. At first, the producers think she's just a fan and try to kick her out, but Pol intervenes, introducing her as his secretary and one of his favorite people. After that, everyone starts treating her much better. During the series filming, Pol and Blanca have to perform a fight scene. As hours pass, Pol begins showing signs of weakness. When another actor kicks him during the scene, he falls, and Blanca rushes to his aid. The director complains about Pol's low stamina, but Blanca discovers that he's sick. She tries to tell the director, but he refuses to let Pol leave, insisting that they must finish the series. With no one willing to help, Blanca decides to take Pol to a safe place, even against everyone's wishes. In a quiet moment, Pol thanks Blanca, saying that if it weren't for her, he might have died. However, Blanca later sees that Gigi posted a photo with Pol, showing affection. The comments praise their love, and Blanca realizes that Gigi betrayed her, claiming she was sick when she had actually gone to see Pol. Later, Pol shows up at Blanca's window, throwing an apple to get her attention. Surprised, she tells him to leave, but he stays. Pol reminds her that her birthday is the next day and invites her out. She, of course, accepts. Blanca tells her friends, who help her prepare a beautiful dress. When the big day arrives, Pol shows up with a luxurious sports car and an endless smile that lasts throughout their date. Together, they feed all kinds of animals, enjoying every special moment. Later, they have a picnic, and as a final surprise, Pol organizes a romantic dinner for Blanca. During the dinner, he gives her a gift, gently touches her face, and tells her that her smile shines with its own light, asking her to never stop smiling. At that moment, Blanca's expression changes, and she confesses that she likes him, not as a fan, but as an ordinary girl, revealing that she has been in love with him since the first day she saw him at school, when she saved him from bullies. However, Gigi interrupts them, bringing a camera and revealing that the romantic dinner was actually part of a television program to promote a toothpaste. Pol realizes everything was fake and feels bad for hurting Blanca. She pretends not to love him, but he can see the sad truth in her eyes. Heartbroken, Blanca throws the cake on the floor and scolds Pol for playing with her feelings. Pol tries to call Blanca several times to apologize, but she hangs up on him each time. She looks around her house, filled with posters of Pol, which now only cause her pain. Determined, Pol goes to her house, but Blanca's friends refuse to let her see him, considering him cruel and arrogant. Pol tries to explain that the dinner was a setup by his boss to make money. To make matters worse, the video of the romantic dinner reaches 100,000 views in just 3 hours, with comments calling Blanca crazy. This triggers a panic attack, and she ends up in the hospital. At the hospital, Blanca meets the doctor, who has treated her since she was a child. He is saddened to find out she is sick again, suffering from anxiety. They realize that social media is the cause of her problems. To heal, Blanca decides to detox from social media. During this process, she discovers that Gigi is not truly her friend, but uses her as bait to attract views to her social media. Gigi, inconsiderate as ever, insists that Blanca continue working for her, even though it harms her health. Meanwhile, Pol does everything to find Blanca. He eventually discovers her at her birthday party, surrounded by friends. Through the window, he sees her sharing a piece of cake with a little girl, recognizing Blanca's infinite kindness. Disguised, he covers her mouth to keep her from screaming, and she becomes mesmerized by his eyes. Pol explains that he's dressed this way to remain anonymous and takes her in his car. They face the issue of not being able to be seen together, as social media could attack Blanca again. Nevertheless, they talk about their relationship. Gigi calls Pol, but he hangs up to give Blanca his full attention. She feels embarrassed being so close to him, while he confesses that she is not just a fan, but the most important girl in his life. Pol says he prefers the darkness, where no one can see them. At night, they share happy moments together. However, some people discover their location, and Pol tries to calm them while Blanca hides. Unfortunately, a video is uploaded to Twitter and a cap is seen in the background, revealing that he is with a girl. This angers his fans, who feel betrayed. To make things worse, Gigi sees the clip and furiously confronts them. Pole's manager asks him to stop seeing Blanca and continue with Gigi, maintaining the facade of their relationship. Otherwise, the brand sponsoring them will withdraw their support. During a press conference, Pole admits he was with a woman on the beach, sparking great curiosity about her identity. He looks at Blanca, remembering that she is the woman of his dreams but also the bullying she endured. He fears that if he reveals her name, Blanca will suffer even more. Suddenly, Gigi appears, takes the microphone, and declares that she is the girl from the beach. Blanca is deeply hurt by this. Gigi uses the moment to announce that she and Pole are dating and are happy together, claiming that nothing can separate them. Blanca, furious, storms out of the conference while others comment that Pole and Gigi make an adorable couple. Then, Pole tells his bosses that he only plans to fake his relationship with Gigi. He shows up under Blanca's window, and she lets him into her house. There, he reveals that his relationship with Gigi is faker than a $3 bill. Blanca doesn't like him playing with her feelings, and Pole confesses that he hates himself for hurting her. However, Blanca insists that it's impossible for them to be together. She decides to end the relationship, not out of love, but out of friendship. She doesn't even want to be his friend anymore. To try to change the situation, Pole reveals that Blanca was his first love. He explains that during all those moments in school, when it seemed like he was thinking about another girl, he was actually thinking about her. He longed for a fleeting glance that would let her know she was the one for him. Then, Pole gives Blanca a diamond bracelet he has kept for years and asks her to be his girlfriend. While trying not to faint, Blanca responds that, of course, she wants to be his girlfriend. However, Gigi finds out about them. When Blanca tells her friends, Gigi shows up and confronts her, saying she feels uncomfortable working together. The situation becomes awkward. The next day, a photo of Gigi with many pimples on her face is posted online. She begins searching for the person who uploaded it, fearing it might end her career as an influencer. Gigi blames Blanca's fans, calling them crazy, but they reply that she's just a fame seeker. The comments about Gigi become terrible, and she deletes the photo she posted with Pole. Desperate, and with no friends to comfort her, Gigi looks out at the balcony and considers jumping. Suddenly, Blanca saves her life. However, Gigi confesses that she feels like she has nothing to live for. As a last resort, Blanca agrees to continue faking her relationship with Pole to give Gigi the courage to carry on. Despite this, seeing them together pains Gigi, who imposes conditions on how Pole should act with her in public. Blanca demands that he promise not to touch Gigi affectionately, and Pole makes it clear that Blanca is the one he loves, giving her the best seat at his next show. Blanca is thrilled with the gift and plans to reciprocate it with a kiss, but a passing girl interrupts them. Their inability to go out in public bothers them. When they arrive at the concert, Pole sings to all his fans, but mostly to Blanca, who smiles brightly, knowing all the words of love are for her. At the end of the song, he asks the audience to check under their seats. Pole reveals there's a special sticker addressed to one girl to come up on stage with him. However, Gigi, who switched seats before the show, finds the sticker. Due to the misunderstanding, Gigi goes on stage with Pole. Everyone hugs her, and Gigi starts crying, apologizing for all the wrong things she's done. She is so remorseful that everyone forgives her, and the audience asks Pole to hug her. Blanca, watching with intense jealousy, sees Pole hugging Gigi, even though it deeply hurts her. Later, in a secret meeting with Blanca, Pole explains that he was forced to do it. While talking, he takes a chip from Blanca's mouth, almost touching her lips, and they both feel awkward, even though they secretly enjoy it. A misfortune occurs. Blanca and Gigi are fined $1 million for using copyrighted music in their clips. The two begin blaming each other, but soon realize neither of them has enough money to pay the fine. As a solution, they start doing live reviews on TikTok of makeup products, earning money little by little. They gradually approach the amount they need, though they still have $500,000 left. Then, Gigi suggests organizing a beauty contest in which both Blanca and she will participate. Pol disagrees with the idea, and Blanca isn't thrilled either, but the sponsors offer the money needed to pay off the $1,000,000 fine. Reluctantly, Blanca agrees to participate. Blanca feels nervous, as she's always been called the ugly duckling and doesn't believe she can win. However, her friends encourage her, saying she is very beautiful and help her prepare for the contest. They teach her how to walk like a model, ensure her posture is perfect, and even remove all her body hair. On the day of the contest, it's revealed that the winner will not only receive the prize money, but also get a date with Pol. This motivates both competitors even more. During the event, the participants wear extravagant dresses and are asked a crucial question: what is your opinion on love? While Gigi delivers a fake and artificial speech, Blanca answers from the heart, saying that love is sacrificing yourself for the person you love and feeling a waterfall in your heart every day. Her response moves the audience, who applaud her enthusiastically. During the voting, Blanca leads by a wide margin, receiving 38,000 votes compared to Gigi's 28,000. It seems like a landslide victory, but Gigi, hurt and frustrated, makes a secret phone call. While Blanca and Pol share a moment of love and happiness, an unexpected twist is announced. The contest's loser will be punished by kissing a frog. Although Blanca dislikes the idea, she remains calm, confident she will win. However, the result is shocking. Gigi is announced as the winner, leaving everyone surprised. It's revealed that Gigi hired a hacker who manipulated the results by adding 75,000 extra votes in seconds. Pol places the winner's crown on Gigi, who beams with pride, while Blanca looks at her with jealousy. Reporters once again comment on how Gigi and Pol make the perfect couple. Blanca prepares for her punishment, but instead of a frog, she finds a mirror inside the box. When Blanca looks into the mirror, she's haunted by memories of bullying, which seem to come to life before her eyes. She has a panic attack, and Pol tries to calm her down, whispering in her ear that everything will be okay. However, Blanca faints and is taken to the hospital, where she recovers. Pol blames himself for not protecting her. During this time, they realize that instead of removing all the mirrors in the world, Blanca needs to confront her traumas and learn to accept her own image. Meanwhile, Pol investigates who placed the mirror in the box. He discovers that the event manager received the box anonymously with instructions to replace the frog box. After some insistence, the manager refuses to say more, but Pol finds the mirror's receipt in the trash, which shows it was sent from Gigi's house. This proves that Gigi was responsible for placing the mirror. They tell Blanca that Gigi is a true villain who has always wished the worst for her. They also reveal that Gigi has hated Blanca since school. She was the one who locked the door while Blanca was being bullied, preventing her from escaping. When another girl tried to help Blanca, Gigi threw her phone into the water and told her to stay quiet, leaving Blanca to her fate. Hearing all this, Blanca locks herself in her room, refusing to eat for days. She refuses to come out. Her friends realize there's only one person who can bring her back: Pol. He shows up in front of her, and as Blanca sees herself reflected in his eyes, she loses track of time. Pol reminds her that she's the most beautiful girl he has ever seen, and that if others don't see it, it's because they're blind. With the support of her friends and Pol, Blanca finds the strength to finally face her reflection in the mirror. However, she is still scared. Pol reassures Blanca that no matter what happens, he will never leave her side. With this support, Blanca finds the strength to pull the blanket off the mirror. She looks at her reflection, touches her face, and discovers that seeing herself no longer triggers panic attacks. Her friends hug her, and Blanca realizes that she needs to make a change in her life. The first thing she does is improve her style, becoming a more confident and sexy woman. She is no longer afraid of what others say and decides to confront the villain, Gigi. Blanca tells her the truth, calling Gigi a true witch and blaming her for all the sadness she endured over the years, believing herself to be ugly. Fortunately, her friends helped her see that both her body and soul are beautiful. Gigi responds by saying that Blanca is nothing without her. However, Blanca proves her wrong by creating a new YouTube channel called The Ugly Blog. The channel is dedicated to helping people who don't love themselves realize that their bodies are beautiful. Gigi's team considers Blanca's message monstrous, but soon realizes that Blanca has surpassed Gigi in audience and followers. Blanca's influence grows, and Gigi's team begins to dissolve, leaving her completely alone. In desperation, Gigi creates a toxic video accusing Blanca of stealing her team and trying to ruin her life. Many fans side with Gigi, and Blanca begins receiving hate comments, including death threats. At this critical moment, Paul comes to comfort her, offering his love and support. He tells Blanca that he auditioned for a Korean drama and landed the lead role. When Paul starts appearing with Blanca, they pretend to be just friends but exchange secret signs of affection. However, a man named Mano notices their relationship and warns that any girl who gets close to Paul ends up hurt. Photos of Blanca leaving Paul's house begin circulating, and his fans turn against her, calling her a traitor for being in a relationship with him. Gigi and Paul attend a fan meeting where they act as a couple. They even make a heart gesture for their fans, assuring them that they are still together. Meanwhile, Blanca faces harassment from Gigi's fans, who accuse her of betrayal. A heated argument turns into a physical fight with punches and scratches. Paul discovers this and leaves the ceremony immediately to rescue Blanca. He doesn't care about being recorded, as he only wants to hold her in his arms. Rumors about Paul and Blanca being the real couple start spreading. The truth eventually comes out. Gigi receives an award alone, and Paul is seen as just a fan who helped her. Public sentiment turns against Paul and Blanca, with both being insulted wherever they go. Blanca, in particular, is labeled a homewrecker and intensely hated. Paul decides to hide with Blanca, but the pressure is overwhelming. They feel alone against the world, as they are treated as enemies of the nation wherever they go. Producers force Paul to stay away from Blanca, claiming that the problems arise whenever they are together. Paul disagrees and fights with his bosses. He decides to leave for Korea to film the drama. At the airport, as they say goodbye, Blanca tells him she can't be with him anymore. Initially, Paul thinks she's joking, but when he sees her trembling, he realizes she is seriously breaking up with him. Blanca thanks Paul for protecting her, but says it will be easier if they end their relationship. She tries to stay strong, but her emotions betray her. Paul, stunned, embraces her tightly, begging her to stay with him. However, Blanca bids him farewell and walks away, leaving Paul completely devastated. Days go by, and Paul can't forget Blanca. He posts a song on his Instagram called I Miss You, referencing her. However, Blanca doesn't pay attention. Filled with pain, Paul becomes an arrogant and bitter person. Meanwhile, Blanca continues her work as a YouTuber. She travels to a beach to film content and take on funny challenges, but she can't laugh. She stares into the horizon, searching for Paul until he suddenly appears. They share an intense hug that seems to finally bring happiness back into their lives. After so much time apart, they talk and share their truths. Paul explains that he achieved success in the Korean series, but without Blanca, none of it matters. His achievements only feel complete when he can celebrate them with her. Paul says he doesn't want fame or money. He just wants a life with her. When they are about to kiss, Ma appears and punches Paul, accusing him of trying to kiss Blanca and for all the pain she caused him. Blanca stops the fight. Ma then opens his heart, revealing that he's been in love with her for years and that it hurts to see her with Paul. Blanca responds that she has never seen him as a boyfriend and that he'll have to accept being just her friend. Ma storms off angrily without saying a word. Meanwhile, Gigi secretly records a video of Blanca and Pol kissing and threatens to release it, which would ruin Blanca's career as a YouTuber. Gigi strikes a deal with Pol. She won't release the video as long as he ends his relationship with Blanca and resumes their fake relationship. Gigi hopes that, in time, Pol will fall for her. When Blanca learns of Gigi's threat, she throws her out of the hair salon. Later, Blanca goes live with her friends, taking anonymous calls. During the stream, Gigi calls anonymously and reveals that one of Blanca's friends has a cheating husband, causing great distress. Tired of Gigi hurting those she loves, Blanca confronts her. They start a fight, throwing glasses at each other. In the chaos, Gigi accidentally hits her head. Instead of worrying, Gigi uses the injury to create a perfect plan. Since they were live, she blames Blanca, making it look like she was the aggressor. Blanca is rushed to the hospital after collapsing without a pulse. The doctor manages to revive her and tells Pol that she nearly died. While Blanca recovers, Gigi posts photos of herself with bruises and injuries, accusing Blanca. In a press conference, Gigi continues lying, telling reporters that Blanca is violent. The accusations make Blanca trend on Twitter, reaching the #1 spot in the country. Blanca realizes she needs to restore her reputation. She releases a statement explaining that Gigi started the fight and is a liar. The public becomes divided, with some supporting Blanca and others siding with Gigi. Despite everything, Blanca has Pol's support. He visits her in the hospital every day. Gigi's nurse remarks how nice it is that her boyfriend visits her, but Gigi discovers that Pol has been visiting Blanca instead. Tired of Blanca always winning, Gigi uploads the video of Blanca and Pol kissing on the beach. Blanca sees the post and the hateful comments targeting her. She becomes the most hated girl in the country. Pol also faces backlash, and his boss fires him from all his upcoming series. They realize they're alone against the world. Determined to change public perception, they hold a press conference. Pol confesses that Blanca is his true girlfriend and that he has always had feelings for her from their school days until now. He explains that when he saw her again, he realized he was still in love. The journalists, intrigued, begin asking questions. Because of his love for Blanca, Pol reveals to the public that his relationship with Gigi was a lie, created solely to improve his reputation and secure more work. Before finishing, he mentions that Blanca is a good person and makes only one request: for people to stop sending hateful messages to her because she doesn't deserve to be mistreated. As a result of his confession, Pol's boss forces him to pay all the fines for lying about the relationship. Pol ends up jobless and penniless. Meanwhile, it's revealed that Gigi's facial injuries were fake, created with makeup. Although her friends try to expose the truth, Gigi continues painting her wounds, making it difficult for anyone to uncover the reality. Blanca's hair salon is vandalized with graffiti, and she faces constant harassment. Desperate, she asks Gigi to calm her fans, but Gigi refuses, enjoying Blanca's suffering. At this point, Blanca decides to expose all the terrible things Gigi has done. First, she shows the receipt for the mirror Gigi purchased to trigger Blanca's panic attack. Next, she presents a recording proving it was Gigi who broke her mother's vase, not Blanca. Finally, Blanca wipes off Gigi's fake wound, revealing that it was just makeup. The public begins to see Gigi as a liar. As a result, Gigi loses all her popularity, her friends abandon her, and she becomes desperate. Seeing no other way out, she attempts to end her life by overdosing on pills. Fortunately, Blanca finds her in time and rushes her to the hospital, where doctors save her. Blanca tells Gigi that no matter how difficult life seems, it's always better to live. Blanca reminds her that she became a bad person because of her obsession with social media. She also recalls the time when they were good friends in school and encourages Gigi to reconnect with the inner child full of kindness that still exists within her. Blanca shares advice on self-esteem, and her YouTube channel becomes incredibly successful. The channel's popularity also brings more clients to her hair salon, making Blanca a successful businesswoman. In gratitude, her friends organize a special celebration for her, with fans singing her name, filling her with surprise and joy. Pol appears at the celebration to support her. Despite working on a Korean series, he left the filming because he didn't want to miss her laugh, which he says is the light of his life. During the event, Pol publicly confirms that they are dating, and their fans are thrilled, calling them the country's favorite couple. Later, Pol takes Blanca to a rooftop, where he surprises her with a romantic date. Blanca enthusiastically thanks him for all the sacrifices he has made in his acting career to be with her. He responds that he would do it all over again 1,000 times. In a heartfelt gesture, he sets off fireworks and confesses that he loves her, saying he wants to see himself reflected every day in the light of her smile. Blanca declares her love for him as well. The two promise to live in eternal love, not the shallow, kind scene on Instagram, like Gigi's, but a true love with feelings so deep they overflow from the heart. After all, to love and be loved is the greatest reward life can offer. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and check out other content I'm sure you'll love. Thank you so much for your time, and see you next time.